it is Tristan with Nerdette's Newsstand, and I want to hone in on one single title. Now, it's been going on for about a year at this point, and I've covered it a lot. And I am specifically talking about Superman, Son of Kal-El. Now, this is a title written by Tom Taylor, and the art, for the most part, is done by Bruce Timm. I want to talk about it and why I love it. There are a lot of people out there that have it out for this title and cover it and talk badly about it, but we need to take a look at it in a really positive way because it has quickly become one of the best ongoing titles at DC Comics. And honestly, it's competing with some of the best Batman titles and doing very well. So there are 5 specific reasons why I am definitely enjoying this title. And the first really hones in on the idea of battling injustice versus battling crime. And what I mean by that is we see Batman on a monthly basis putting away criminals, putting them back into the justice system, maybe sending them to Arkham, right? Batman is always battling criminals instead of taking a look at the injustices of the world. And that's what we're actually seeing quite a bit in this title. Now, of course, you do have people like Henry Bendix in the title, who is clearly a criminal, but the idea of battling injustice to me is something that hasn't been taken upon in the big two for a very long time. You can look at Superman's roots and look at how he originally went after wife beaters and stuff like that. That was battling injustice, even though those are, yes, criminals. But we're seeing this idea of kidnapping and human trafficking done by Henry Bendix, and we're seeing the battle taken to that. The idea of corruption at the highest level, the president of Gamora, being Henry Bendix, being the most corrupt politician. And we are seeing Superman and the Truth, and we'll talk about them in a little bit, really taking it to him and trying to figure out how they can go against a whole country and not worrying about going over country lines. So I really like the idea of diving into injustice. We see him battle basically a giant kaiju Leviathan monster and battle it a different way. And we also see him go up against stuff like someone experimented upon causing all this deforestation. So I really enjoy that idea. Another reason I love Superman, Son of Kal-El is the crossovers in the world building. Tom Taylor knows what he is doing. First off, we actually have official crossovers with Nightwing that were illustrated by Bruno Redondo. I wish Bruno Redondo could do this title. I love Bruce Timm's art, but it is not Bruno Redondo level of beautiful. These were my favorite issues, specifically because of that art. It takes it to the higher level, but they were also very sweet. We see a little bit of an origin extended upon, where we see Nightwing kind of take John under his arm, and that expanded upon in these issues where they are working together. We also see Flash, Wally West, come across and simply say, hey, I'm Wally West. You don't need a secret identity with me. I am here to help. And I really, really enjoy that because Superman is young. He's 18 years old. He's a child. He is scared. This is all brand new to him. And Flash is there if he needs it. We also see, obviously, the Kents and Lois and Clark. But even expanding further, we see Hippolyta make a little cameo. We see Wink and Airy from the Suicide Squad Bad Bloodline. And that actually ties into the stuff with Gamora, the people being experimented upon. So he's pulling back from old lore and bringing it back in right now. We also see Batman crossover, and there's something so great about Batman not being willing to go up against Lois. I absolutely loved that little bit. And Damian, of course, Damian, right? And this is going to lead back to a few of the comments wishing that he wasn't aged up. Again, I'm with you. I feel like they missed out on some storytelling, but what we have gotten between them, even a Superman and Robin special, was great. In the interaction, Damian telling John to simply do what you love, be you, don't try to be your father. Those things are all great. So putting those super crossovers into this and actually, instead of having this title just run, having it interact with the other titles is amazing. And I think it's actually a failure upon what we've seen in I Am Batman with John Ridley, not having him do that. And this one makes it feel inclusive in the whole DC universe. I also love the fact that we are seeing Jonathan strike out on his own. He definitely has struck out a few times, even going as far as to accidentally break somebody's arm. He realizes at one point that he can't save everybody. And it really kind of goes deep within him to have him realize that he has all of these superpowers, but no matter how he tries, no matter how much he puts in effort, he is not going to be able to save everyone. And he can only do what is he can do, right? And I really love that idea. We see that growth of Jonathan going from this kind of cocky boy that's trying to have this weird identity to being like, no, I'm going to do my best, even if I fail over and over and over again. And I love that. Another reason I love this story is the idea and the inclusion of this group, this anonymous group called The Truth. The Truth is fascinating to me because I don't know at this point if I trust them or if I think that Nightwing should be leader of the group or at least funding the group. But I like the idea of them actually knowing what's going on. We take a look at our current society, and if you look at news, nobody trusts the news. Not a single one of us can look at a news station and agree upon the sources. Not a single one of us can look and go, okay, well, you watch Fox, you're clearly right-leaning. You watch CNN, you're clearly left-leaning. This is the idea of what actually is without biases. And I like the idea of that, even though we all have our own biases. So I do think it's nearly impossible. But the idea of exploring something all and kind of uncovering the corruption, I really think is great. Now, everyone knew I was going to get to this. So finding himself is another big deal. We do have a romantic subplot with Jay McNamara, and I like it. He's a great emotional support. Again, just like The Truth, I can't say that I trust him completely, but I do think the idea of Jonathan being able to find an identity outside of his father's is extremely important. If we want full-fledged characters and not cookie cutters, we need some differences. And we're already seeing those differences. One, the idea of battling injustice. Two, the fact that he is taking things from a different angle. He's not just going in guns blazing, scorched earth style. He's looking at every idea and every situation as an individual. And I think that's a really smart way to do this. And that's what we're seeing by emotional support from Jay, from Nightwing. There's some great different things in here when it comes to Nightwing Dick actually going over there and having that conversation about what happened when he was tortured. And it's phenomenal and beautiful. Again, Bruno Redondo, you need to be on every title. Just putting it out there. And it also kind of, I've always described Dick Grayson as the heart of the DC universe. And having that emotional impact, that back and forth, really cements this as one of the better titles. It did get a rocky start. It may not stick the landing, but as of right now, it is one worth checking out. I absolutely am enjoying it. It's doing very well, so I expect we will probably get a few more issues. It'll tie into Dark Crisis, and we'll see what happens from there. But right now, I love it. Let me know what you guys think down below, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.